Hey guys, this is Getting Cat. Welcome back to Touhou Bubba Dance Performance. I guess we're doing tutorial stuff for now because there's a fair few mechanics, especially in the post game, that are hella confusing and kinda could do with a bit of disambiguation. So that's what we're gonna do. And the one we're going to talk about today is Reincarnation. So once you've completed the game, you can go back to the Scarlet Devil Mansion. You go down to the library with Patchouli down the bottom here. You don't actually have to talk to Patchouli. She has a fight for you, I think, which I have not yet done. And yeah, you have an Arcu doll here. You basically get items for some items of Reincarnation. You have to go find the rest. But yeah, you get access to the Patchouli doll here, which lets you reincarnate puppets. So reincarnation is basically this game's breeding, and it's not really breeding. Not every doll, of course, is created equal in these things. It's just like the main Pokemon games. Every doll has its own set of stats, like so, where it ranges all the way from E- to S, and E- is of course a 0 IV, S is basically a 31. There's only 16 values, which does make a difference, but every value is worth 2 IVs in the main Pokemon games, so it basically does go between 0 and 31. It's exactly the same stat distribution as what happens in the main Pokemon games, but it's only half the number of possibilities that you can have. That makes it easier to get perfects, because once you have your flawless setup here, if you have 2 perfect parents, then you will basically get a perfect 6S rank doll out 1 in 16 times, because there's only 16 variants of stats you can have, and there is a Destiny Knot equivalent to pass 5 of the 6 stats from your parent dolls. So yeah, it works out. The other advantages, it does not force you to release an endless amount of puppets, which is great because releasing puppets in this game is not impossible, but is extremely annoying to do, because you have to go up and talk to Hina, and Hina's in a random house and in the Yokai Mountain in a random cave, or basically outside a random cave that you've got to go through, and it's really stupid. And so you really don't want to release dolls in this game, but you don't necessarily have to. I keep calling them dolls even though they're puppets. It's basically the same thing, let's be honest. But yeah, even puppets as bad as this can become as good as this if you actually have the setup. The setup itself can take a few goes to get, and we'll attempt to show some of that just now. I may not get the entire way, but you'll get the idea, basically, from what we do here. So, we're going to take this Ellen, and we're going to confirm that this is the doll who will be reincarnated. You then get 2 succession dolls, which of course are your breeding parents. Now, I'm going to have Show as one of them, because she has 2 S ranks, one for defense, one for special attack. Ellen, the stats on Ellen don't actually make any difference unless you use a particular magical stone that we will get to in a minute. But yeah, basically it's only the stats on the parents that actually count, so we will definitely take the one with the highest number of S ranks. And then these are all puppets I caught during the game itself. We'll go with Merlin here. Merlin's only got 1 S rank otherwise, but it's a different S rank to what I have on the other puppets, so that is a pretty good start. You then get the emblem. These are the marks that you get when you first come to the reincarnation table, and they basically determine your nature. So in this game, nature's denoted by the colors here. This is for attack, this is defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. I say special, it's really spread, but you get the idea. It's the same stats as are in Pokemon, they just have slightly different names. So I just refer to them by the names I know, so there you go. Natures in this game do still give a 10% boost, but they never give a negative. So this is basically just letting you choose what stat you want to focus on. I don't actually know what Ellen is good at doing, but we'll just have the green mark here. And then you have the magic stone for support. So when you first come to the table, you get the Omega Magic Stone here. Now the Omega Magic Stone is not one you want to use unless you are just changing an already set up puppet, because it keeps all of the stats that the reincarnating puppet, the one that you're actually reincarnating, it keeps all of their stats. So if I wanted, say, to reincarnate the Sariel that I've got, this is how I would do it, because I would keep my 6 stats and it would be perfectly fine. However, you want to use one of these other ones where possible. So there is a post-game dungeon called the Icy Cave, which is in the Misty Lake. It's Cherno's pad basically, and you explore that place to get the main magic stones we have here. So these are kind of like the power items in Pokemon. So if you put down the gold magic stone, then the puppet that you're reincarnating will keep its HP value, and then it will take stats from the other 2 puppets that you're using as parents, and it will randomize the other 2 remaining stats, because normally you transfer free stats from the parents just like you do in Pokemon, so it's not too bad that way. So you've of course got one for HP, one for focus attack and defense, one for spread attack and defense, and one for speed. However, by doing the side quest with Carson and in post-game stuff, you go into the giant toad pond that is basically blocked until post-game, and you find Carson, you get a whole bunch of items around the world for her, and once you do that, you get hold of the Rainbow Magic Stone, which is your Destiny Knot equivalent. So this will take 5 stats from the parents and randomize the last one, and this is where it becomes really easy to make any puppet flawless when you have 2 flawless parents. For now, I think it was a focus attack that Ellen had as her only S rank, so we will use the red magic stone first, and we will reincarnate. Reincarnation does take 1 magical fragment, so hopefully you've not been selling those during the main game. If you have, then you're going to need to do a bit of grinding in order to get some back, but that's okay. That is the main disadvantage, I guess, of reincarnation compared to breeding, is that it is limited by how many fragments you've got, but it's really quite straightforward to get stuff here. You can see, unfortunately, English patch text doesn't really work properly here, but essentially it's saying that your doll will go back to level 1 with no power points and no moves learned and all of that stuff, so it is a flat reset. There's no such thing as egg moves in this game, which is a bit of a disadvantage, I guess, but at the same time, egg moves are kind of bollocks anyway when you think about it. So, let's reincarnate. You can see just how quick it is, and yeah, we now have an Ellen which has much better stats than she did before. She's kept her focus stat because we had the red stone there, and she has a couple of S's otherwise. No, just a 1S really, but she got Show's special attack. I think she got Show's HP as well, and I don't remember what the stats on the other ones were. Did you have? What did you have? We can see stuff here. You had the speed, right? Okay, so that would probably be the old one that got passed, and yeah, once you're done with that, you can cancel if you want, or you can actually just immediately set the puppet again. But if you want to re-go, it doesn't matter what level the puppet is, you can do it with everything. So we'll just reset the same thing here, because the idea is that we want to try and get 3 or more S ranks here, and then we would use Ellen as a succession source doll, and we would try and reincarnate something else to have 4 S ranks, and you know, you would go from there. If you don't use an emblem, by the way, if you don't use one of the marks, then your emblem will be randomly decided. So you usually do want to use a mark. You don't have to, but it's best if you do. So let's try that again. You can see this time we did get 3 S ranks. So we have focus attack, focus defense, and spread attack, which is pretty good. That kind of clashes a little bit with what Show has, but that is fine. We also took Merlin's speed again, so there's that. The other 2 stats are randomly generated, and now we can go on to a different doll. So we can go, say, with Mystia here, who has a speed stat that we don't have otherwise, and we can run with that. So we will go with Mistia now. We will then change the show doll to our Ellen, because our Ellen now has 3 S's, and she has one that Show already has. Basically, she has all of Show's ones, so we'll keep that. But we do have a different S rank on Merlin to what we have on everyone else. Now, let me just double check with Mistia here which stat. She has speed, and Merlin had HP. So, yeah, we will set Mistia, and then we will change the support stone to the green stone, because that will keep Mistia's speed, and then we're only missing 1 stat between them otherwise. So we'll see what Mistia comes out at. Mistia comes out kinda crap this time, unfortunately, but this is how quick you can do reincarnation stuff, because yeah, we can. It keeps all of the stuff except which doll was reincarnating, so you can immediately go back and just keep doing this until you give up from fragments, I guess. But if you can carry up to 255 of any item, so if you've not been selling any of these during the main game, you'll probably have 255 of them by the time you get to this point. So, now we have an interesting doll here. We've got the speed, of course, and then we've got attack and defense. It's not a bad doll in the size. I would have rather had the HP here, but we can run with that. So now we'll actually put Merlin as one of the as the reincarnating doll here, because we're now going to try and get Merlin's HP along with 3 of the S ranks that we have here. So it's kind of the same thing you do in Pokemon. You keep getting stronger ones until you know, with 2 IV, then 3 IV, then 4, and then you look to get the perfects and stuff. We're going to use the gold stone this time so that we can keep the HP going. And Merlin comes out with 4. So there you go. That's keeping speed, focus attack, and spread attack along with her HP. So we're getting there. Now I think I have one that has spread defense. I think it is Momiji. Yeah, Momiji's got the spread defense, so we'll put Momiji in, and then I think it would basically be Mistia to go, because well, no, she's got the defense. It doesn't actually matter too much at this point, I don't think, because Merlin does have everything except the defense. So yeah, it really doesn't matter which of the 2 we remove. This time we want to use the Rainbow Stone, I think. Maybe. No, we haven't got all the stats yet, so we want to use the White Stone because that'll give the special defense. And we're looking to get 2 dolls that have the 6 stats between them, so that then we can get the final result here. This is of course not going to do, because we don't have quite all the stuff there. Basically, this will take a fair few fragments unless you get really lucky like I did the first time and get a 5. Right, okay, so we are still missing the defense, which doesn't really make it too compatible. So we'll just keep going until we actually get the ones that we need here. We need the focus defense, and yeah, preferably 4 of the stats. That's only 2. That's not really good enough. You could probably get away with having just a 2, but there you go. That's more or less what we're looking for. We kept our spread defense. We picked up 3 stats from one of the other 2 parents' S's, and then one of the 2 remaining S's got randomly generated. So that's pretty great. And now what you would want to do, well, we may as well just can we go back to Ellen here? Yeah, because we only need speed. So yeah, we'll go back to Ellen here because Ellen was our original one that we were going for. And of course we want to put Momiji in now. Merlin still has the speed, right? Yeah, Merlin has the speed. So now that we've got it all properly set, this is where we would use the Rainbow Magic Stone. And now we look to get 5 or 6 in the right sort of path. But yeah, we can get stuff like that. There's the 4, so because it took one of the stats from Merlin as well. But it's super quick, especially if you're just reincarnating the top member of your party. It is incredibly quick to set this up. You just have to watch how many fragments you're using, but you can see we have 5 here. This might well be worth using instead of Merlin at this point, because being a 5, it's going to be easier to get a proper puppet out. So now we may as well just put Show in. Show stats don't actually make a difference in terms of what we have here, but you can see now we're starting to get to the good stuff. We haven't needed to use too many fragments either. We've only really used, what, 20, 30? And we started with more or less completely random stats between 5 different puppets here. So, yeah. But that's basically it. That's how you set it up, and then you're really just looking to, for most characters, you're looking to get 5 within anywhere. So this would do for Show, because Show's speed form, I think it is, doesn't use her focus attack at all. So this is a perfectly usable Show. Of course, if you're looking to get perfect parents, you're going to have to keep going a little bit further so that you can get all S's, and then it makes things a lot easier. But this is a usable character, so that would be pretty much where I would stop. At least if I'm looking to do stuff in the main, campaign, or the competitive stuff like that. You don't necessarily need to have everything perfect. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it is all set up, and then you just level the character from there and do all the usual stuff with it, and her stats will be perfectly good. So, hopefully that's made things at least a little bit simpler, explaining how things go to begin with and then trying to show it off. It's a little bit weird to show off because really it's just kind of hitting, it's not even just hitting buttons, but it's kind of just going through the motions, but those motions can be difficult to learn to begin with, so hopefully we've helped a bit there. This has been GamerCal, showing off Reincarnation in Touhou Puppet Dance Performance, and next time we'll probably show off some other mechanics that may be a little confusing to new people as well. Till then, take care.